Okay, great viewers. So we are rationalizing a denominator. What does that mean? In the denominator there are irrational numbers, and that shouldn't be that way. You type this into your calculator, it will immediately make it right, so that there's no more roots in the denominator. So irrational numbers are typically root numbers. But more than that, they are non-ending, non-recurring. So if you type it in, it will be non-ending, non-recurring. But the fact of the matter is there shouldn't be a root in the denominator. So yesterday, we started on that and we had to go finish it. So if I want to get rid of that, let's go back to an easier one that I gave you for homework, which was, if there's a root 2, the easy thing to do is to know that root 2 times root 2 will fall away. But then I can't just time in there with root 2. I must make it legal by multiplying by 1. The number 1. Then it's mathematically legal. Now, must I time with 5 root 2?
No.
Or just root 2?
Yes.
Is it fine if you did time with 5 root 2 over 5 root 2?
Yes.
That's fine. Then you'll just get a bigger answer that you'll have to simplify again. And that's okay. The main thing is there has to be a root 2 times root 2, making this root 2 times root 2, 2. So if that is 2, it's timed with 5 and the answer is? 10. And then at the top, we still have to multiply and we've got 2 root 2. This one as well. I can go in times with root 8 over root 8, but there's another way. What could you have done with root 8? Where did you get that? From your calculator. You're supposed to get it with that little factorizing thing from grade 8. But the 8 can be written as 2 root 2. So there's 2 options here. You could have said times with root 8 over root 8. You would have gotten 8 at the bottom. No more irrational. That's my mission. This one will just fall away immediately because there are now root 2's at the top and bottom, and the answer is 3 over 2. So if you did it that way, what was your answer then? We did say at the bottom there'd be a 8. That's my mission. What's the top?
12.
If you say 3 times root 2 times root 8, and don't give me an answer of the calculator, then I know it's going to be calculator. You should know that if I time root 2 and root 8, I'm going to get root 16. And what is root 16? 4. So that is 3 times 4, which is 12. That I don't care about if you don't write that. But that means still that you're going to cancel out the 4 and the 8, or 12 divided by 8 is still 3 over 2. Or whichever way you do it, you're going to get to 3 over 2. The mission here was get the root away from the bottom. How do you test it? Type the original sum in on your calculator, and the calculator says 3 over 2. Then you know your answer is right. Coming back to the more difficult one that we didn't get finished with yesterday, it's all about there being 2 terms at the bottom. So now you can't just time with root 3 over root 3, because if you time with root 3, it's going to be timed with the 1 again, and pops another root. You're trying to get rid of the roots. How do I do that then? By multiplying with 1 plus, because we spoke about it yesterday. If you put a minus there, the same as this one, then you're going to get a FOIL sum of which the middle term won't fall away and it has another root in it. Mission not accomplished. I don't want roots. So if you do this, you have to multiply with a plus or a. This is a minus, this must be a plus. If this was a plus, that would be a minus. So I'm actually looking for a difference of squares coming out of there. So at the top there, you also have to do it. So that's what you're going to get your mark for knowing that. Then the answer shouldn't have a root in the bottom anymore, because you've got 1 times 1 is 1. You've got minus root 3. You've got plus root 3. And you've got a minus times a plus is a minus, and root 3 times 3 is 3. And I'm happy because this falls a, well, I don't have to show that. It's just going to be 1 minus 3. Mission accomplished. No more root in the bottom. But the top is a 1 term times a 2 term, so it's distributive law. So So it's 2. And 2 times plus 3 is 2 root 3. So that my total answer is over -2. Do you agree? And now if you check that on the calculator, that's not what the calculator gives you, because can this still simplify? Yes. How?
By adding the 2.
You cannot do anything there and say it's 4 root 3. You're not allowed. It's plus. How can it simplify? Which 2's? That one and that one you can't. There's a plus stopping you.
Take the 2 to
Take the 2 to the top.
take the 2 that are
No, you can't just make it 2 or 1. You can factorize. I don't have ink. You can take out a common 2 and what's left?
1 plus.
Isn't that the solution for all of our problems if we can't cancel out over pluses and minuses? Nobody said take out a common factor. And then we got a -2. So if we take out the common factor, can I now simplify? Yes. So remember, if you do factorize, there better be a purpose. Otherwise, what you're doing it for. And then they will cancel out, and what's left? That minus is there. Applied to the rest of the answer will be -1 minus root 3. And your calculator concurs?
Yes.
Are you with me? Isn't there another way? Long, long ago in grade 8, you were told you can put these on their own denominators. And if you put 2 over -2, you get -1. And if you put 2 root 2 over -2, you also get minus root 3. There's a way. You didn't have to factorize in the sum. You could put them each over their own denominator. Let's quickly go through the last ones. What was the purpose here? At exercise 9. Oh, exercise 9. Exercise 5 on page 9. It wasn't rationalizing the denominator, although it will in any case happen. It was just simplify. And that's when you were taught, if you want to simplify, just take your calculator and root 32 becomes? Nothing wants to write anymore. 4 root 2 over, and the answer is 4. Nice and easy. And where did you get those answers? Calculator. It's actually that little fishbone thingy, and then you can cancel them out. For 54, what do? Calculator gives you
3 root 6.
over 9, which will then be what? 3 goes into 9? 3 times, so it's root 6 over?
3.
Done. And I don't have denominators that are irrational. It was before the exercise of rationalization, but now you know you have to rationalize. Your calculator will help. Last question. Do I have to go do this thing about rationalization, or what must I do with this sum? First, go to your calculator and make it
2 root 2.
2 root 2 plus root 2 over root 2. Don't you like this, what I just told you about it here? That I can put each on their own denominator? You can. Another thing that can happen here, because they are like terms.
3 root 2.
These weren't like terms, but they are. So yes, it's, I heard it, 3 root 2. Alternative method. 2 root 2 and 1 root 2 is 3 root 2. Over root 2, and the whole story about the roots at the bottom sorted itself out. So the answer is 3. So please for tomorrow, you do for me exercise 5, just number 1O, and exercise 6, 2B and 2C. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.